Hi there and welcome to Meet the Leaders. I'm David Smith and we are in the beautiful Wisner Memorial Library in Warwick chatting with some of the municipal leaders of the area, and one of those has been on the job for quite a while and has been in the area for even longer than that is Anthony Cardone, who's the supervisor of Monroe. It's nice to see you, Tony.
Nice to see you. I'm doing great. Thank you for having us, the town of Monroe.
It is a pleasure. It's a gorgeous place to be, and so what better place for us to have Meet the Leaders? That's
absolutely,
for sure.
Absolutely.
You have been involved in the political scene for quite a while, and things are seemingly going very well in Monroe.
Things are going phenomenal in Monroe now. We've been on the council for 2 years. I got on in 16, became supervisor in 2018, and it's been a great run. Not anything I had ever intended to get into.
So what got you involved?
What got me involved is I was on the Park Commission for 25 years. Okay. I was chair there for 14, and the previous regime did not reappoint me. And there was no animosity. I got it. That's politics. Yeah. So I was basically without some fun to do for a year, and I was approached by United Monroe, who was the political group that kind of bonded everyone in the town, and they asked me if I would run.
Have we got a deal for you, Tony?
Yeah, and I thought about it, and I love Monroe so much. I've been up here since '70. My grandparents have had a summer home that we would come up to in the '60s. They had it since the late '40s.
Wow.
And I said, you know what? We have to do this. We have to straighten things out. So that's what got me involved in politics.
And here you are.
Here I am.
Well, and you're hitting the ground really running, because you've had some big things that have been in the works and I guess are going to come more into fruition in January.
Yes.
For the town all the way around, for everybody, really.
Yeah, for everybody.
Multifaceted.
Yeah, we have the separation of us and KJ, which will become Palm Tree, Kairos Joel. We lost about we went from 534 million in taxable value down to about 388 million. So we had to do some major adjustments in our budget. Great finance department we have. I took over as the budget officer. We trimmed and we cut. We started out with about a 27 to 30% increase, and we got it down to between 6 and 9.
Well, needless to say, that had to be very concerning to the citizenry all the way around. That's been a situation that's been in the works and been fought over and so forth for, what, 4 or 5 years anyway, right?
Yeah, it's been, approximately 5 years, you're right. And people were concerned, the rumors out there were that we were going to experience, 30, 40% tax increase. We lost 27% of the taxable value. But listen, you basically go across the board, and you don't pick certain departments or certain areas where you're going to cut. You got to do it across the board,
right.
And that's what we did. Everybody in all our departments were, amicable in the way we approached it, and they understood, and we got to where we are because of teamwork.
But you didn't have much choice. I mean, there you were. It was presented to you on a plate, and you had to do something with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, it's that part of my first year is over with, and we are extremely happy that it's over.
Don't look back. Let's look forward.
No, we're looking forward now.
Well, forward is this new town hall that's going to be coming.
Yes, we're scheduled to close sometime mid to the third quarter of January. It's a $2.6 million building. We have some grants that we received through Senator Larkin's office.
Good.
That have helped us with it, with the renovations and with the purchase of it. We got a grant from Assemblyman Carl Brabenick, which would be put directly towards the clerk's office improvements.
Oh, it's been assigned to the clerk's office.
When you apply for these grants, you have to assign it to something specific.
Yep.
So we assigned it to that. Senator Larkin's grant, which was $400,000, was assigned. I'm sorry, which was $250,000, was assigned to the courts.
Okay.
Senator Larkin did give us a $400,000 grant for the improvements of 2 of our roads going forward, and that'll be done next year.
Jeez. Well, now you're kind of congealing all these town offices and the courts into one building.
Into one building. We're condensing everything. We're going to make it so that people can come to one location in order to get their town.
That makes life easier
done.
For everybody, right?
So much so. One thing we tried this year, which not that I was skeptical, but maybe I was a little hesitant because it's municipal government, and I wasn't really too well versed in managing it. Was we tried a 4-day work week for 1 month in the summer,
Okay.
and we tried a 4.5-day work week for 1 month in the summer. And I will tell you that the residents were extremely positive towards it because our hours on the days they were working were extended. It was either extended an hour or 2 hours, depending upon if it was a half a day
Right.
or a whole day. And
They
residents,
didn't miss that extra day.
they didn't miss that extra day because what happened was we have a real commuter community. So people were looking to get in and do town business. And when you close at 4 o'clock, you can't accommodate the needs of the residents
Of
as
course.
much as if you close at 6. So July and August, we trialed it, and it's something we're going to do again next July and August, and we'll see if we do the full day off or the half day on Friday.
Yeah, what did you get any kind of a feel as to how each was being responded to?
Yeah, it was, okay, so you made it a 10-hour day
Okay.
for 4 days,
Yep.
or you made it a 9-hour day for 4 days and a 4-hour day on Friday. So
Okay.
there were pros and cons of everything because, listen, I was in retail, so 12, 14-hour
it
days.
forever.
Yeah, it's 7 days a week. It didn't matter. And people had to get accustomed, and I saw that to that 10-hour day. And they finally did towards the end of it. And then, the first month we did the half day on Friday. And they were okay with that, but then you extend that extra hour, and it can tend to be a grind on people.
Yeah.
And plus, they have things to do at home, and if you're used to one way. So I'm going to poll them in the new year and see in what direction they want to go. I'm going to let them make the decision.
Wow. Well, and all that, and you've got a new facility that'll be in Town Hall also,
Yes.
right? For
Excuse me.
everybody.
Right, we'll have our court system. Our court system is so antiquated that you would laugh if you went into our courts. And I shouldn't say the system, the court itself.
Right, right.
We have two judges, Judge Schwartz and Judge Milligram, who oversee everything. And we're going to be condensing their offices into Town Hall. There's a worship hall that is in the current Congregation's Temple. That's going to be transformed into the court.
Okay.
Where we'll have a state-of-the-art courtroom, and then we'll have a banquet room just to the side of that.
That's kind of interesting. The banquet facility sounds like it could be a big hit all the way around.
I think it will be. We'll be able to rent it out for celebrations or the needs of the community. There's a full commercial kitchen right off of it.
Excellent.
So, the catering is going to be real accessible.
What can you accommodate in terms of bodies?
I think the room, I think right now it's about 180.
Okay.
But that's going to drop a little bit because we're going to be installing a permanent dais there for the Planning Board, ZBA, Town Council,
Okay.
Conservation Commission meetings.
But hey, weddings and other celebratory things might well fit in
Yeah,
there.
I'm sure
pretty
they could.
decently.
I'm sure we could put up some sort of partition in front of the dais so that we can accommodate them in a professional fashion
Yeah.
rather than looking at a dais while
Yeah.
you're, dancing. So it's a,
Well,
it's a
you
great
have
room.
you have had an incredible amount of work to do in the first few years of your administration here.
Yeah, and I'm going to say this: when you have a phenomenal support system and the employees are on board with everything, it makes things a lot easier. And I have a wonderful secretary who everybody jokes around, but I think it's true. She is a supervisor. It's not me. She has saved me numerous times, and it's great working with her. She was actually an employee of ours since 1990.
Really?
Yeah, she started when she was 16, and she came to work. My wife and I ran Hallmark stores, and she worked for us for about 7 or 8 years. She got married, raised a family, and came back to work for us. I think it was about 2009. So and
Couldn't stay away.
No, couldn't stay away, and she's been with us, and it was a great hire for me. It was a natural. And she just does a great job, and as do all our other departments.
Well, it sure sounds like it. It sounds like you've got a real team effort working there.
Yeah.
And to have everybody as agreeable about the change in times over the summertime and possibly going forward, I mean, that's disrupts a lot of lives, possibly.
And you know, I think the most astounding thing for me is that, you know, when we came in, I say in January 18.
Okay.
I saw a lot more people, because I was here for 16 and 17 as a councilman. I will tell you, it was the worst 2 years of my life. My counterpart who ran with me will say the same thing, because there was just such dissension, disagreement, unprofessionalism that existed and just carried through to our meetings. It was like Sunday we would prepare for a fight, Monday night we would have a fight at the meetings, and Tuesday you were recuperating from it. And then, you know, you had to go back to your normal life.
I'm surprised that you stuck with it after all that.
Well,
that's
listen,
a tough time.
My motto, I coached Pop Warner for 36 years. My motto's always been, don't ever give up. So if I gave up, the kids I coach would be probably coming along and slapping me a little bit. So.
Hey, Tony, I'm glad you didn't give up. Obviously, the rest of Monroe is glad you didn't give up either. So glad to have you with us on Meet the Leaders today.
My pleasure. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to be here.
Wish you the best for the holidays and a great 19 to come before you know it.
Yeah, it'll be here soon. Thank you very much.
Supervisor Tony Cardone, our guest on this edition of Meet the Leaders, and I'm David Smith.